Good morning, good evening, from wherever you are listening from. To save on time, we are going to start. This is the East Central and South Africa Microsoft Excel Forum Group, brought to you by Crisp Excel Training and Consulting. To support the webinars, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can see more masterclasses. Our presenter for today is Milan. Milan is an IT business analyst. His areas of expertise is Google Sheets, Excel, Power Query, Power BI, Looker Studio, corporate training, and spreadsheet architecture. If you follow him on LinkedIn, you see that he is an excellent in solving Excel challenges. So I'll send you his link so that you can follow him. And our topic for today is creating complex formulas step by step in Google Sheet. So welcome, Milan, and you can continue.
Thank you, Crispo. Hello, everyone. My name is on my camera. Hello, everyone. My name is Milan. I am from India. I'm working in Excel from last more than a decade, but actively working for solving challenges from last, I guess, 2 to 3 years. If I talk about my professional life, I am a business analyst who is mostly into project management part, and this is my hobby to. It is my additional skill, which I don't think there is that much use in my professional life, but I adopt that as my skill for my personal growth. And I feel quite enjoy. I enjoy the part when I solve some challenges given by Crispo or any other like Power BI, Excel BI, OMID. Yeah, many ones who are giving challenges on daily basis. So I enjoy this thing, and this is my expertise. So my reason behind shifting towards the Google Sheet is like I mostly work for my professional work on Google Sheets only. So I quite rely on that particular on Google Sheet to solve these challenges. And the most important thing, the iteration part is well covered, well managed in the Google Sheet. Although I do not work that much in Excel, but I'm aware about the functions and all those things which are used in Excel. So there is a much difference between Google Sheet and Excel. If I talk about, there are some functions which are available in Excel. There are some functions which are not available in Google Sheet. So there is a gap in both of them. But at last, they solve our purpose to solve any challenges. So now let me start my session. Share my screen. My screen visible? Hello.
Yeah. It's loading. Oh yeah, now it's visible.
So basically, the core part of this session will be how to solve the challenges, even the complex challenges, step by step. So as the time passed, Excel, Google Sheet improved their functions. Now we can create functions like we are looping something. If you are anyone from the programming background, they can relate. The looping part is now possible in the Excel without doing like app script or VBA. So now these by column, map, these functions used with Lambda helper functions are like they handle looping part very efficiently. So I will step by step, I will make you understand how to solve these things. First, I will cover the concept behind the by row, by column, and map. And later on, I will explain all the challenges which I solved personally by my own step by step. Okay. So let me just run. Now you can see there is like what is the use of this by row function? Actually, by row function works for a particular row. You cannot pick out any. You cannot like in this. If you can see, like if I use by row, Let me show you with an example. Now I want that I have this product by row. So in the by row, we have to first mention the array or a range on which we have to find out our solution, or on which we have to work. Okay. So now we will just select the range, use the lambda helper function. Now I want sum of every row. N number of columns might be there in a row, but I want sum of every row. So this thing can be done efficiently by the by row function. So I will write here by row. So here you can see it is giving me row wise total of every column, every row. So when you are solving any kind of these kind of challenges where you have to use the you have to calculate or you have work on an individual row, so by row function is a very good function to work around. Now I will show you how by call function works. So similarly, it is opposite of by row. It works on every column. So let me just write by call. I will select the range. Um, Now you can see it is giving me column wise total. It is just opposite of by row. So there is no much difference. It depends on the situation, on the data, or the result you want from the data range. Okay. And now another function is like map. In map, if you can see, they are basically two arrays. Second one is optional one, but you can select. So here you can see the map function actually works. Now what I want, map function actually works on a way like it checks every cell. Like in a by row, we find out result from the entire row. In by column, we find out result from the entire column. But map find out the condition or anything which you want from particular cell value, rather than going for a column or a row. So let me show you. Now let me just select this and let's see map. Okay. Now lambda x. Now I want to see where any of the range value is greater than 15. Okay. So what I will do, 15. You can just see that. True. Now I will use if function. If x is greater than x, else blank. Now you can now just see. So it is giving me all those values rather than going by row or by column. It is checking that particular condition in every cell and giving me output. Like here you can see it is blank because it is checking every cell in the value. Now you can also use this when you have to sum out calculate or you have to sum up the values where the digit is greater than 15. So this function will be really helpful for you to get the desired result. Now let me take you to for our first challenge. It is for those all of those who are like just started working on solving the challenges. It is my suggestion that at the initial stage, whenever you are trying to solving any question, just note the concept which you are by which you are solving the particular question or particular challenge. So this challenge was given by Crispo, where I have to populate the project start date, end date, given start month and duration. Here I'm not having any date to calculate the difference or jump up to the next end date. So now what I will do, I have two parameters. First, I have a start month and I have a duration of month. And this is the expected result. Like for the 1st April, I will for the duration, I have in duration I have 12 months. So I have to jump to 12 months and after that 12 months, I want the last date of that month. So how I will solve this question? Just let me show you. First, I will use by row function. As I have to get the data row wise. Row wise in the sense, first I will select this B part. Okay. Now what I will do, I will use lambda function. Okay. Now, I got the month name. Okay. So how can I actually find out the date from only from the only given month? Okay. So what I will use? I will use a date value function. Date value function works. It converts date string to a date value. So wherever you are seeing any kind of date which is in a string type, you can convert into date by using date value function. Okay. So I will use date value. Now what I will do, I will concatenate the April, the month with the year. Just see X and 24. Okay. Just see the result. Now I will convert this into a date format. Okay. Now you can see first April, May, June, December. So I got the first day of every month which are given in the challenge. Okay. Now what I have to do, I have to find the duration. I have to jump to the duration as per the duration given to me, and that to the last date. Okay. So now what I will do, I will use a map function. In that map function, I will use these given dates. Okay. Now in the last sheet also I'll show you that map in the map function we can use two parameters like two range. Okay. So in the second range, what I will do, I will give the duration part. Okay. Now I will use lambda x dot y. Now here there is one function. If I let me show you edate function. Edate function actually jumps to the value, jumps to the month. If I put the edate start date and how many months we have to jump. Okay, or we have to skip. So like if I put 0, and it will not do anything. But if I do like here, if I say there is a 12, okay, so it will give my date after 12 months from the given date. Okay, so as till now we have found that we have got the date after 12 months. But the question says that we want the last day from that date which we have received the result. Okay, now what I will do, I will just do minus 1. Just see, we have got the last date. So how we will merge these two things in a formula, I will show you. Okay, it's on x and y. Okay, what I will do, I will do e date. I will in start date. What I will do, I will select the date part. That is the x parameter. In our question, in our solution, the x will be this part and y will be this part for the all the newcomers. Okay. In y, what I will do, I will select the duration which is in our C column. Okay, now I will do minus 1. This is the result we got. Okay, now how we will combine this thing? So rather than just referencing to this different range, I will combine this part inside the map function. Rather than you can just see. This is the result. Now, as per the desired result, I have to like concatenate with the project part x part. I can easily do that by using the h stack function. H stack is joins the range horizontally. Okay, x and oh, just a second. Yeah, it's fine. I have to convert it into this format. Okay, so here we got the desired result. So if you see, this is the in a combined way. This is the formula we have derived. Although whenever any person looks at it looks quite complex, but if you solve these things step by step, and you will also be able to understand. And if you want to make anyone understand this, it will be easy for you. And for future reference, if you are trying to solve any such challenge in which such like date value part comes, so it will be easy for you to remember how this actual concept works. And for all the newcomers, still, and I also, I usually don't focus on optimization of the formula. As is the initial stage, we should focus on building the concept rather than optimization. At the later stage, optimization will be necessary when you are working on large data set. So basically, my concern was like, first you should work around how, if no, there is no problem that if the formula becomes big, but it should be conceptually good, and you should be conceptually be understandable by you and created by you. Okay. So now I will shift to the second question. This was also again given by the Crispo, where I have to get the dates before and after a new order. Okay. So this was the desired result, and this is a range question range or challenge range. Okay. So now I have to find the dates before and after where the new order is written. Okay. You see. So how we will solve this question? Now, first what I will do, I will use map function. Okay. You can use buyer also, but map will work quite efficiently in these kind of situation where you have to use the add stack or offset type of function. Okay. As per my suggestion. Otherwise, you can choose buyer also. Okay. So this is the map function. This is a lambda x. Now what I will do? I will first find new order in my range. Okay. So as the lambda map function works on a cell by cell basis. Okay. So what I will do? I will do if x equals to new one. Okay. So what it will do? It will first find the where the x is equal to new order. Now what I have to do? I have to use offset function for this. For all those who are not aware about offset function, let me tell you. Offset function is used to get the get the result from the particular position above the row, below the row, above column from left to right, height, width. You can get the result from the offset function from a particular cell value. Like if I write here new order, okay. So this will be my cell value. Okay. What I will do, I want the part. So this will always be considered as a zero row. And if you are considering as a column, then it will always be considered as a zero. Okay, its index value will be zero. Now what I want row above that. I want date before and after where new order is written. So this function, offset function, is a very good function in this part. Plays very important role in this part. What I will do, I will use -1, okay, and 0 column to see the result 3/6/2025. Okay, so what it did, like it first find the cell reference, new order, then we have wrote here the offset rows. Now how many rows we want to offset? Here we have written -1, so it will go upward. Okay, now okay, so from this -1 we have got the previous date. Now I want next date from it. Offset new row +1 and 0. Why I'm using 0 column? Because we are referencing only this. If we are referencing from the entire range, then the result will be different. Like see 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now what I want, offset comma 0. And only. Now you can see here in here we have wrote 2. Okay. So we are not having any row downward or upward. We are having only single row. So what I can do, I will write zero row means this row only, and I want to get second value. Just see. So it has considered this as a 0, this as a 1, this as 2. Okay, you can see easily from this function. So offset function is a very good function when you want to get this data from back date or from the future date, whatever the question is. So if you want to get the data previous or next, you can use offset function for this. Okay. So now let me show you. Now I will continue with my function. If new order, then what I will do? First, I will offset x. Means whenever where x will can be any cell in this range, wherever it will find new order. Okay. So if new order, if x equals to new order, then what it will do? It will go to -1, comma 0. It will get the previous row. Okay. Now I want both the dates, both the dates with this. Okay. What I will do? I will just do a stack offset offset x for the next date. Okay. Just see. Just a second. I have not replaced. Let's see. 3, 6, 4, and 5. So this result we have got. Now what I have to do? This result is into two columns. Although I have used stack column, I would also use the reduce function also to join the data vertically. But I have used the stack function. Now what I have to do? I have to get this data into a single row. Okay. What I will do? I will just write in this function to call function I use to get the data into a single column. Okay. Let's see, although it is down. Okay. Now what I will do? I will use unique function to skip the blanks. Okay. What it will do? It will find the unique by column and which exactly appears one. Okay. Let's see. 3, 1. So this is the result we have got. Step by step, if you try to solve the question, whenever you are trying to solve any of these type of questions, just rather than creating big formula at a single point of time, or you are creating in a single way, just try to solve step by step. Like if like here you can see you have figured out that, yeah, okay, I have to get the previous date, I have to get next date, I can use offset function. Now how will I work on the range? I will use the map function to check the value cell by cell. Now if I got the result, then what I should do? I should use two column function to wrap the the result data into a single column. Now what I have to do? I have to do like use unique function to skip the blank part. So you should first conceptually see that how can you can figure out this challenge, or how can you like solve these kind of things step by step. Okay. So this was the second question I had. Now it will show you the third part. Now see, it was a challenge given by Excel BI. This is the range where alphabets are given. Now I have to align the data as shown, generate header row also. I have to show the how many times the particular alphabet has been repeated along with the times repeated with the header. Okay. So how will I do this one? What I will do? First, I will find the unique among all of them. Okay. As now you can see. Okay. So now I have to what I have to do? Now I have to sort the part. As it is sort 1, -1. So now my data is properly sorted in ascending order. Now what I have to do? I have to find how many times this particular alphabet has been repeated. So now I have my range will be like my range will be this range. Okay, on which I have to find how many times this particular alphabet has been repeated. So what I will do, always remember when you are trying to find unique of something or unique data, so just wrap that unique part into a by-row function. Then find that data, find the that unique unique data into your from your range. Like this is my unique data. Okay, this is my unique data, and this is my range. So I will find this part into this. So I have to keep this unique part into by-row function. So what it will do, if we go one by one, row by row, and find the particular alphabet A in this range. Okay, so let me just show you like by row is a by row function. Okay, now what I will do, lambda. Now what I will do, I will first use filter function to filter out the data which is equal to this unique part. Okay, what I will do, I will use this range and again use this range in the condition part where it is equals to x. So what it will do, it will first find out as it will go row by row, means x is our unique data. So it will first find data for first row, like for a. First, what it will do, it will go to the filter part. It will filter the range. Now it will search where a is there. So it will give the if the result is true, it will give the result, the desired result, that is a. Else, it will show no data. Okay. So just let me just close the bracket part. Now here you can see the value error. It is because we have to get the data into single row. Now what, whenever you are trying, like just see filter this part, filter a, where this equals to a. Okay. Let's see. Now the result is in column, is spreading into column. Now, if we consider this part, we have A, B, C, D. So for every result, if we do this kind of thing, like we have the rows expand as per the result. If there might be possibility A will be repeated 5 times, B will be 6 times. So what I have to do, rather than just if you, I can also use unique reduce function for it. But how will I manage this part? I will just do one thing. I will just wrap the filter part into two rows. So what it will do, it will convert, it will wrap the result of every row in a single row. Earlier it was giving the result of every row in a column. So it was so we are getting the value error. Okay. So here you can see it is checking like first part A in this range. If we find A, then it will give the A result. Now what we have done, we have wrapped that A, the desired result into two row. From using two row, we have wrapped it into a single row. So we have got the result, and now you can see we have not got, we have not received any kind of value error. Now the another part comes when I have to use header for this. Now here we can here anyone cannot use like static function like 5. If it is getting, I am getting 5, I have like using v stack function, I just stack the join the sequence. Okay. Now I have to make this particular part dynamic. So what I will do, I will use first I will wrap this part to let. Okay, let is very useful when you are working on a quite big formula. Okay, and when you have to use some part of formula many times in a function. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll use a ref function. Now what I will find, will use sequence. Okay, in sequence what I will do, I want data in one row. Sequence function is used to generate the range. Okay, so here you can see the parameter row, column, start, and step. Row means in how many rows you want data, how many columns you want, what will the start step involved with the end step. So all those who are not aware about the sequence part, anyone, let me just show you how it will look like in sequence. In sequence, I want 10 rows in one column, and it will start with 2, and how many times the value will multiply or value will get plus. Okay, 2. That's it. I've generated the table of 2 from using. I can generate anything from this. Like I want this part. I can either use the columns like see 10 columns. See, I just created a range from using sequence function. So this sequence function we will use to find our headers. Okay. So what I will do here, I will write sequence in sequence first parameter. I will use one as I want data of the range in only one row. Okay. And column, and for column, what we will do, we will first find out by row. Okay. We will first grab the by row. In by row, we will use A. A means our this result, the result which we have got from this by row. Okay. By row, in by row lambda x. Okay. Count A x. Okay. By over 1, it will jump 1 on 1. Okay, just let me close this down. So see what we have got, a dynamic array 1 2 3 4 5. How we got? What I have done, just like by row. Okay, this was our result. By row lambda x, count A x. Let's see. Okay, so it gave me the result by counting how many rows, how many cell in a particular or a column in a particular row are non-blank. So here you can see 5 4 3 5 4 3 2 2. Okay, so this is the part where a function gets dynamic. So now what I want that whenever my data gets increased, this header should also be dynamically increased. So if I made it static, it would not be happen. Okay, it cannot be happen actually, because like if I add b also again, so if we restrict to the 5, then we don't get the desired result. Okay, so now what I will do, I will just find max out of the desired result. Means I will find max out of these cells or this row. Okay, what I will do, I will just wrap. I will just find out first max from this. Okay, so just see. So basically, our this part count a function found the how many rows we have, count non-blank rows. Then we have found the max part, and the max we have wrapped into a sequence column. Means when in sequence, if I just shown earlier I have shown you sequence. Okay, so in sequence we have column. So in sequence row we have mentioned one, and in columns we have made it dynamic by using by row and max function to find out the non-blank cell. And out of that, I have found the max part. Now we have got the result 1 2 3 4 5. This is our desired result. Now what I will do, I want the data like in this manner. I will be having header, I will be having the data. What I will do, I will use the vstack function to join the data vertically. vstack vstack, the parameter first will be this header part, and in the second we will have the a. Now if in a sense, if I increase and change any data like b, let's see, if I see our data dynamically gets in, the data range, this part dynamically gets increased. Like see here, if I also do a, or if I convert this into b, c, so dynamically you can solve these kind of challenges, and the sequence function works is like a very good function if you are working on these kind of things. We have to dynamically increase the range, but just you have to understand the how to pass the parameters in this, that like in this I have passed in sequence one. Now in column, how many column I want, so I have used the by row function. Okay, screen visible?
Yeah, everything is okay.
Okay, now,
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
now I will start with the fourth question. Now this was the question given by Excel BI. We have, these are the winners of the trophy. Okay, year by year. Now I have to arrange the data uh, in a descending order on the basis of year. Okay, so this is a quite complex question, but we will solve this kind of question very easily. Okay, what I will do, I will first use the by row. First, let me just tell you map. First, I will use map function. Okay. Let me just tell you first, I will use the by row part, by call part. Okay. A2 to A9. Okay. Lambda. Now, what I will do here, I got the column part. Now I have to join. Now we are having data multiple times comma separated. Okay. What I will do, this is my approach which I have done, like build from past few challenges. Okay. What I will do, I will just concatenate this part. Okay. What I will do, this part, and I will use map function. So map function, I will use this part, lambda y, let y with the comma delimiter. I will close this part. So you can see, as we are having years comma separated and winners are repeated only one time, like Argentina is repeated only one time, so and years are repeated three times, so I have to dynamically create a range in that way that I can get the data for every year against every winner. Okay, so now here you can see I have split what I have done. I use the map function to split the cell. Okay, now I have concatenated with joined it with the winner, the team part. Okay, so now if I just press the enter, I've got only one result. So in the Excel, if I compare, this thing is usually, yeah, is done in a dynamic way. Okay, the result we get the result in dynamic way. But when we are using these kind of tricks to combine the data, then we have to use array formula to make it dynamic. Okay, let's see. So what I have done, Argentina, Argentina, France. So we have got the data. Now what I will do, I will wrap this part into two columns. Two call. Let me just shift this part here. See, I've got the data against every team. We have got the year. What I will do, let me just use name. Now what I have to do, I have to separate the year and the team. Okay, so I will use split function. Split I will use a, and a I will use the comma. I will use the part. Okay, so now you can see it will also not work, as split cannot handle this the range without array formula. Okay, in Google Sheets. I've got the data. Now what I have to do, if you here you can see I have this formula where I have done this part, like we have splitted the formula. Now what I have to do, I have to filter out the data among the desired result, that which is where this cell is not this cell is blank, or this e column is blank. So what I will do, I will just consider this also as a parameter, as a let parameter. Now I will use the filter D. D means our this data. Okay, where whose call, whose call. Okay, is true, not equal to, I have got the data. Now, what I have to do, I have to sort it by the year. Okay, what I will do, just see this part. Now, next question comes, as in the result, it is given the year is on the first column and the teams are in the second column. So what I have to do, I will use if function with the curly bracket. So here you can see, if the result is if 1 equals to 0, if I got the 1, then column 2 should be on the first part, and if it's 0, then column is 1 will be on the second part. Okay, so just let me show you what I will do. This was our third parameter C. Okay, now what I will do is like if 1 comma 0. Okay, if it is a 1, then give me should call comma. Okay, else comma 1. Now all the column if 0 call 3 comma 2 choose call comma. I can also use choose call function multiple times to just split the column and change the column. But find this function quite easy. Okay, so now here you can see 1 comma 0. Now what you have got? So you can see we have got only years, because if function cannot work in a Google Sheet without an array function if you are working on a large array. So what I will do, I will just grab the if part. If part will work on a range, but if you are using array in that particular if part, it won't work. Okay, let's see. Now we have got the result. Now I have to sort the data according to the year. So what I will do, use the sort function. Okay, sort comma 0. Parameter. You have got the result. How big the formula is, but if you solve it step by step, so this trick is quite good for when you are having the data in this manner. We are only having data in a we are when you are having any multiple uh, multiple data or multiple if I say the conditions to find the particular cell value. Okay, against any cell value, like here if you can see the Argentina, we are having 3 years. So we can use this particular technique, like to combine the part and then splitting the part. Okay, now we'll go to fifth question. So this is also similar to that question only. Here we will what we will do. Just let me show you. Okay, so this was the question where it was given by the CRISPO. So the patient, doctor, doctor name is there, patient name is there, and we are having weekdays. So I have to convert the cross table into the row based table. So I want the data in this way. Okay, although people can use the Power Query part for this also, but how we can manage in a Google Sheet or Excel, I will show you. Okay, what I will do, as I am having the doctor, patient. Okay, so I have to repeat, like for this particular patient, doctor have visited for 2 1 1 2. So this they both will be repeated this many times. So what I can do, I use this repeat function. You can see here. Sorry. What I will do, will first use repeat function. It will use to repeat the text how many times you want to repeat on the basis of number you will give. Okay. So what I will do, I will first select the range which will be A2 to A6. Okay. So A2 to just a second, A2 to A6. Okay. Now I will log this as range. Now what I will do, I will just combine now B2 to B6. I will combine the doctor also in this. Now again I will concatenate with this. Okay. Now I will select this range. Now first I as I have to choose the weekend part. So first I will select this part. Okay. I have to log this part. Now we will run this part with dash. Okay. You can see here. Now what I have to do, I have to repeat this result this many times. So what I will do, in the repeat function, I have mentioned what text I want to repeat. Now for how many times I want to repeat that text, here I will mention like if I on the part number of repetitions. Okay, number of repetition I will select. Let's close down. Okay. B3 to B7. We are having this data, okay, and function this. Just let me just copy paste this question. Just see, for every cell value, it has given me the like for Dev, Kahi, Dev, Kahi. It is repeated number of times which are given in the weekend part. Now what? Now I have used the array formula in this because all the legacy functions which are used in Excel are can be used only using this array formula in Google Sheet. Okay. So now what I have to do, as my data is into various columns and data, I have to get the data into a single column. What I will do, I will grab the part A. I will use the parameter to call A. Okay. It will give me the data in a single column. Okay. Now what I have to do, I can use any delimiter instead of blank. I have used for just to separate the name and day part. Okay. You can see now what I will do. I will filter out using the by-row function. I will first split the part where we are using that. Okay. What I will do, I will grab this part. Okay. Now I will use by-row. What by-row will we do? Will do. It will split the part each cell value on the basis of whatever the delimiter we have defined in the split function. Okay. So in by-row we will use filter b where b equals to enter. Okay. So it will first find out the part. In by-row we are defining just consider those cell values only where data is where we are not having any blankness. Okay. So it will go row by row in that. Now we use lambda x. We use split x. Just see. I splitted the data. Okay. So if I press control Z, use control Z part. Just see. What we have done, we have joined the every like for Dev Kahi, we have Monday one. So what you done, Dev Kahi and we have Monday. Okay, so now what I have done, whenever this particular part is again repeated, like we have repeated the Dev Kahi Tuesday also, so same will be repeated here also. Okay, so now what I have done, I have joined. um, So whenever I'm getting the same value in the next row, in the next column, so I have joined these parts using this dash function, using this dash in a repeat function. Okay. So now I have splitted both these things. Now I will use control Z. Lambda. Now I have separated this. Okay. This is okay. Now what I will do, I've got the data. Now I will just again I'm getting the data in different columns. So I will again wrap this particular part into two columns to get the data in a single column. Okay, I got the data. Now what I will do, if you can see, I will then use filter, and in filter I will first split the part. Then out of that splitted part or the whatever result which I have got from this part, in that I will just filter out where it is there is some non-blank cell. Okay, what I will do, I will just wrap this around. Now I have two column. Okay, so I have got the. I will just wrap this part into three column. Okay, now in the last parameter, what I will do, I will use filter function. First, I will split the dash where c equal to. I got the desired result. What I have done, I first join the patient, doctor, and how many times I have to join. I have in that for that I have used the repeat function in which the text I have mentioned in the text part, and how the number of time I want repetition I have mentioned in the repetition part. Then what I have done, I have used the two column function to wrap the data in a single column. Then after that, I have just filter out the data where actually there is no non-blank cell. Then I have splitted the data. After splitting, I have filtered the data where there is non-blank. After splitting the data, I have again split it by using the blank function to split this particular cell value, or I can say this particular row in three column. Then I have filtered out the non-blank data. So like this, you can solve the things step by step. Okay. Let me show you the next question. This was again given by the Crispo. Okay, to get the last order for each month. Okay, so what I will do, I will just first, if you are having a data in a single column, so the strategy you should first consider is that first you just wrap the data, as it is not a like any fixed formula for this, as the data may vary. If it might be possible, I have got the another row for the order. It is not like every time we will get the same pattern, like date and order, date and order. So it depends on data, and you have to clean that data in a particular way. Okay. Now, what I will do, as you have got the question, okay, I will tell you how step by step we can solve this part. What I will do, I will first use the wrap rows function to wrap the column data into a row data. Okay. I will select the part. So this is the result which I want. According to month, what was my closing order? Okay. So this was our data. I want data into two in a single row. I want in two columns. Okay. This is I have got the range. Now what I will do? Let's use let a function. Now I want month of every date. Okay. So what I will use? I will use month function to get the month number of every date. So in this, what I will do? Just use a month function. This choose call. Okay. A comma one. So here you can see it is giving me the one for the first date. Okay. For the first date. Now what I will do, I have to make it like as I earlier also told that all the Excel legacy function does not work in Google Sheet without array formula. Okay. So I will use array formula for this. Okay. 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 So here I got the month part. Now what I have to do? Okay. So now what I have to do here? Now I will stack this particular result with my previous data. Okay. So here I got the part. Let's stack with A. Can just see. It might be due to some error in this part. Okay. So now I've got the month along with the date and order. What I will do now is I got the second part also with this. Now I will first find out the unique months which are there. Okay. Unique. Unique we will use choose call function. Choose call we will use p parameter comma one. So these are my unique months out of this data. Now what I will do, I will wrap this part either in the map function or in the biro function so that I can get a last order of every month, every of these unique months. Okay. Okay. What I will do, I will just use this as a unique separate parameter. I have to use it again and again. I will use map function, map function. Even q in this unique I will pass lambda x. Okay. So what I will do, I will first filter. What I will filter, I will first filter choose call 3 comma 2 comma 3. Means I will first find out the data which was there, which I have wrapped in this particular part, where I found the where I joined the month number of every date along with the wrap row which we have got the into a parameter. Okay, so this is the data which I have to filter out. Now on the what basis I have to filter out? I will use again choose column b comma 1 equals to x. Okay, just let me close it down. Now here you can see result should be in a single row. Okay. Now what I will do, I will first sort the part. Now just let me show you. If I use the one here, I have in map. If I use the one, the result for the where the month is one, we are getting this result. Okay. Now what I have to do, I have to find last order of this month. So what I will do, I will filter the data on the basis of first column, that is date. So whenever you are working on a range part and you get the confusion that how will I manage the iteration, so just here here I know that there is one month number one in my unique parameter. So I just statically write that one to get the to know that how can I manage the data. Okay. So this is the data I got. Now what I will do, I will just use a sort function in this. Okay, 1, 1. Here you can see it has sorted the data in an ascending order on the basis of date. The same thing I did in this function. Like if you here you can see this part. So whenever you look for the first time, you might get confused that it is a quite complex formula. But when you solve these things in a step-by-step manner, it will be easy for you. Okay. Now what I will do, I will use choose rows function. Rows. Now I will write -1. I want to get the last one. Okay. Now I got the last order of the particular month. In Excel you can use take drop function also, take function also. Okay. In Excel, take and drop functions are not available. So you have to use choose rows or choose calls only. Now what I want, I don't want this much data. Like I don't want both column. I want this column. Okay. Like here you can see, I want only month and the closing order. What I will do here, I will use choose calls. Choose calls. I will use. I've got the data. Now what I will do, I just show you this part in this. As I was continuing this thing. Okay. I use into the wrap. I will use sort function. Comma 1. Two function. 1, comma 1. Now what I will do, choose rows -1. Then choose all second. So what it will give me, it will first find out the data from the every unique ray. So like for I have like in our case, we are having 1 as a parameter. So what it will find first? It will find the data where the month number is where date is 1. So we filter the data of that particular related month. Then in that data, it will first we will first sort the data in an ascending order according to date. Then we will first we can also sort in descending order, and then we can use choose or function. It is dependent on the person to person basis. Okay. So what I have done, I have just that filter out the data, and after that, so this particular part, if you can see, this is done on an individual unique data. Like for this part, for 1, 2, 3, for any of the unique number, for every row, it has find out that this particular result. Okay. So not so now what I have done, I will choose call. So now if I close this part, you can see I have got the data. Okay. Now the question is how I can join the month part in this. So already we have to find out the unique part. Now I will use stack function to join this part. Okay. So this is the way we can solve the challenge. Now we have another challenge given by the Omen to separate even odd position into two columns. So I have in data multiple times alphabets are getting repeated. Like here you can say D here, D here, time. Okay. So I have to get the data into in this manner. So my first step will be the wrap rows. Okay. I will first wrap the data into two columns. First, I will use the two call function. Sorry, two call. It will show my data into two different columns. Okay. Now what I will do, I will just wrap the data, wrap rows, to two columns. Okay, second. Okay, so just a second. Okay, so here I am in the data. Now what I want, I might be having d repeated multiple times. Here you can see I am getting n repeated multiple times. So for each alphabet I want total of this. So in previous sheet also, in basic, in concept sheet also, I have mentioned that how we can solve this part. Okay, so we will use by row function in this. Let me write let data. Okay, so this is our first parameter. Next we will write by row unique choose call data comma. So it will first find out the data from our this result which we are getting in this particular range. Okay, so row by row it will find the data. Now what I will do, I will first filter. I will use the lambda x. Okay, so first the filter choose call data comma 2. So I want result from this range. Okay, from second column where choose call data 1 equals to x means whichever unique value I am having here, it will match the data accordingly. So if I am having a here, so it will what it will do, it will first find the go to the range, and then it will filter the data where this column is equals to the a part or the unique part. Okay, so what I will do, I will just filter the data. I will just closing the data. Okay, so here you can see you are getting the value error and because of the single row. Because for every unique row we might get multiple rows. Okay, so just I can show you with this example also. Like if I use here, let me copy it down. Okay, I use a part. So here you are again. Now if I use D, so that is why we are getting value error because it is getting split into multiple rows. Okay. So what I will do, I have like in this question, I have not to worry about this part because I don't want the data into column. I want total of that part. Okay. What I will do, I will, okay. What I will do, I will just wrap the filter part. I got the data. Now what I want that against every unique data, I want their total. What I will do, I will just use the expect function x. So this is how you can solve these things easily. Okay. So now let me take you some of the quite big questions or tough questions, if I can say. Okay. So now this was given by Crispo to find out the data, find out at least where there are two primary skills and where there are three secondary skills. So this was quite challenging question. Okay, you can see the here the result also which I have created. So how we will do these kind of challenges? Okay, let me show you. This is first the let function. Let function. What I will use, I will first use the range part. Okay, so this is our first table. This is our first table. Okay, now I want my second table for the primary skill. I will use PRM. For secondary skill, we will use this. Okay, now what I will do, I want, you can see here where I am just using choose call function, column 2 and column 3 separately. Okay, what I will do, call 1. You cannot use call 1 as they are restricted, some restricted keywords. Okay, I use call 1, choose call 3 comma 2. So if I here I use call 1, I got the this data. Call 2. Okay. Now what I want another for secondary skill. Call 2, choose call Is the formula visible to everyone?
Yes.
Info?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I have used the call part in this also. Now what I will do, I will first split every skill. Like we are having in a primary skill, we are in Java, Python, and etc. etc. Now what I have to do, I have to split this part. Okay. What I will do now, I will use this part into Biro, one lambda as array formula, make it dynamic, trim, split, as so this will be my first. Okay. And for second also we will copy the same part. Okay. So, called 2. Mm, we are using y. Let me use it y. No problem. We got the data. Okay. So now what I will do, one call to have done. Trim the part. Trim I have used because there might be some space after the comma. Okay, so it is like I suggest whenever you are getting data and split it in a comma separated or the delimiter is used, just use the trim function. Okay, and if you are using trim function in any value, any data where you are getting digits or the numbers in comma separated or any, separated by any delimiter, then also you can use trim function and then convert the trim function using n function. Okay, or just convert it into integer. So now I got the both part as I got the first as I got the second. Okay, now I've got the both the parameters. Now what I will do, if you can see, I have used the by row function again. Okay, let me see how. I use the by row array formula. Okay, is a match first in prm0. So here you can see I have used let me choose lambda as count a 333. Okay. So our question was I should get at least 2% primary skills and 3 secondary skills. So I'm getting the 3 in this. So what I have done, I have just matched the part in a unique row by row function. What I have done, I have matched the first. That means I have matched the primary skill into in this skill. Okay, in the table 2, and from where I have got the count. Now what I will do, I will just use the same function to get the secondary. This was my first. Let me use h stack function. Right. Okay, now what I will do, I will use the second in SCC. Okay. SCCOND second count access our formula. Just let me check. Just an extra comma. Okay. Now I have to filter out the data. What I will do, I will use filter function where choose call. Just let me show you. Formula is not activity. Where AA like first part, I have to get the data where this part this range, this part where column 2 is greater than equals to 2, or column C is greater than equals to 3. So by using this particular thing, we can find out those all candidates which are having at least 2 primary skills and 3 secondary skills. Okay. So as the time constant is there, I will just speed up. Now, this was the another question given by Excel BI. The data was in this manner. I want the data in this way. Okay. And I want the total part dynamic. So I guess this Kispo, can we have this question as the last question, if you say?
Yes, I think we can do this and then wrap it up.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the part in which what I will do, I will use the by row function. As I am in data in a by row manner, we use a lambda x split x comma separated. Okay. Now what I will do, I will just wrap this part. Now I have told that we have like comma separated, so we can use the trim function. Trim. As it won't work. So let me just use array formula for this. Okay. Now what I will do, I have got this data. Now I'll just wrap it into let parameter. Let A. Now what I will do, I will first find out by row. Just a second. Let me just, I have forgot to split the data. Let me just split the data. Okay, I will just split the data. Now just let me wrap it into A, and then what I will do, I will just find out the unique among this particular range. Okay, what I will do, I will unique choose call a comma 1, get the unique data. In that I will just use filter function, choose call a comma 2, there choose call a comma 1 equal to x. Oh, I forgot to use the lambda part. Yeah, I'm getting data in this manner. What I will do, I will first use, it might be possible, like see, I told that whenever you're using trim on any digit or any numeric value, just use a double dash to convert it into integer. Now what I will do, I will just sum the part. Close the part. 9543 just a second. So we call a comma 1. Okay, yeah, yeah, this is the part. Okay, I got the data. Now what I will do, I will just stack it with the
It's stuck.
stack. Okay. What I will do, I will just use the v stack function to wrap this part. Like here you can see if I already created. You can see here I have used the v stack function. You can see here what I have done. I have used the v stack. Then in v stack I have used the first parameter as the desired result, and after that I have the stack the total array formula of who's called a comma 2. Means whatever result which I have got in the a part or in this part, I have just wrapped it into total part. Okay, so let me just wrap it down. Finish the part. Extract the total. What I'll do is sum is all a comma 2 is the right formula. Okay. It might be due to some comma bracket I have not closed. Okay, so this is how you can solve these questions step by step. Thank you from my side. Over to you, Krishna.
Thank you, Milan. That was interesting. I've not used Google Sheet for that long, but very impressive. So my question is, before I allow other people to ask questions, I can see Michael hand is already up. Why do you prefer Google Sheet instead of Excel? Is there a reason why you would prefer Google Sheet over Excel?
There is no certain specific reason. Actually, for my company-related work, I usually have to share data with clients. So I have to work multiple time on Google Sheet. So it is like I got familiar into the Google Sheet part. Although I use Excel for some functions, Excel 365 for like group by and all other functions. So it is
Okay.
not like I have some differences between both of them. Although both are different platforms, both are having their pros and cons. So it is like my personal choice.
Okay. Michael, you can unmute yourself and ask a question. Michael, you can ask a question. You can unmute yourself. I don't know whether Michael can hear me. My other question is, as Michael prepares, is where would you prefer to choose lows instead of drop in Excel? Is there like a performance difference?
In actually the basic thing is that in Google Sheet you won't find any formula like choose or drop or take. It
Yeah.
is one of the biggest, I guess I can say cons for this, because whenever you're working on a big formula, you have to write this particular two rows, such a big formula for this. And if you are using Excel, it might be for 4 characters of formula like take or drop. Whereas the
Okay.
functions are not available, it is like quite difficult when you're working on creating big complex formula.